friends, we all are at the final stage of this year, 2025. And this year has given us a lot, good and bad. There must have been many things that encouraged you. There must have been many things because of which you want to change your life, your way of living today. And almost in this month, we have a wonderful opportunity to review and introspect. People who take an interest in themselves, who examine and reflect on the moments of their lives from time to time, find that many things in their lives start to align. So, today, once again, we are connected through this live session. I am very happy to say that once again, we have the opportunity to connect with each other like this. Thank you very much for that. Live sessions have always been a very special medium for me. They have been a truly beautiful opportunity through which I am able to connect with you all in such a direct way and have discussions with you that are very special, very important. Friends, in today's live session, we will talk about many things. We will discuss many topics. In this month of December, as 2025 comes to a close, what are the things we should perhaps reflect on, the things we should consider? We will discuss a bit about the things we should consider as standards for the coming year, for 2026. But before that, a very warm welcome to all of you. And I hope that everyone who is currently a part of this live session, those who are joining now, and those who haven't joined yet, if you want to let them know, they can also join this live. This is a wonderful opportunity. For today's live session, my friend, we have chosen a small theme. The theme is faith versus overthinking. Is our faith correct, or is it many times overthinking about anything? Is that right? I have received many questions, many of your confusions, and a lot of what you have written and sent to me. I will talk a little about those. We will try to communicate with each other. Friends, right now I am seeing two or three comments. In the comment section, people are writing to me. Prachi writes, "We have a lot of faith in our hearts, but often our mind is afraid. Confusion and being troubled by overthinking ends up hurting our faith. How can we avoid this?" Prachi writes this question. And along with Prachi, experience writes that sometimes in life, when we become very troubled, even the one we trust the most does not listen to us. And how should we handle ourselves in such situations? Friends, many of you probably have similar questions. In the end, in our lives, how do we connect our relationships, the people who come into our lives, with the many people around us? Whether it's our faith, our belief, or being self reliant about anything, thinking that I will handle everything myself, and not overthinking every single thing to the point that it turns into overthinking today. In today's fast paced times, my friends, when life is moving so incredibly quickly, what we truly want to achieve and what we really want to do is right here, just a few steps away from us. But because we don't know how to do it, that time, that opportunity often slips away from our hands very quickly. It is very important for us to think about how we can live our lives in the right way, how we should live our life properly. What is the way of living? Today, all of you who are becoming a part of this life, I want to start on a max note, friends, that in all of our lives, in front of all of us, only one thing matters: how we will live out life. Our life is only for us to live, because when your life reaches its final stage, all the things you thought about, he says this, she says that, he thinks this about me, he looked at me like that, someone wanted me to live this way or that way, all these things will come to an end. The chance you have to be born in this world, in this life, is very specific. It is truly special. And if you start spending that special opportunity worrying about preconceived notions or anxieties about things you've already thought about, then you stop living your own life. Friends, have you ever noticed that many times you keep postponing things because you worry that people will think badly of you? Many times you keep trying to prove yourself wrong because you feel that the race others are running, the way people are moving ahead, is more special. Often people make you feel like, look at them. They are more successful. You are a failure. And all these things, all these standards, all these measures that you and I have set in our lives, all these measurements we've created, all these things often just make you wait. You are waiting for the right moment when someone will understand you, someone will appreciate you, someone will acknowledge your efforts. And many times this becomes a major reason for frustration, for burning up inside, for getting entangled, for constantly feeling troubled within yourself. Friends, today I want to say to you, as we approach the end of 2025, many times you must feel like you are repeating your life, doing the same things that you did last year, the year before that, and the year before that. You keep postponing many things, thinking, I should do this, I should do that, I will do this, I will do that. Many times you make excuses for yourself, give yourself reasons. This happened, that happened. That's why I couldn't move forward. I really want to tell you that all of these various things, many times, are simply there to hold you back in your life, to entangle you. And every single person who is caught up in these difficult things today, unfortunately, they are not truly living their life. So, friends, today's topic is very special. In today's topic, we just need to understand one thing: fear and overthinking are both necessary or are both somehow wrong. Faith, it keeps you trapped in the illusion that what you already know is the truth. Whereas the reality is that everything in this world is ever changing, everything is transforming. Who you were last year, you are no longer that person now. Your body's abilities have diminished a little. You look different. Your clothes come in a different size. Your abilities are different. You can work hard in a different way. The limit of your hard work has decreased. Even you have changed in the last 1 year. How can you believe that you are the same as you were last year? That has completely, if not completely, at least partly changed. Faith is not for those who come to live their life properly. For such people, faith is just a standard. That is a means to show you the way. Where do you need to go? It's a means to show direction, friends. Faith is necessary, but faith is not ultimate. Faith can show you the way, but it's not necessary that the path it shows will always turn out to be absolutely right for you. So I always say a phrase, and this is the phrase from all the living. Whether the masters were Buddha, Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramhansa, or Mansur, always keep examining your faith and your beliefs. Test your faith. What you believed yesterday may often not fully stand up to your current situation today. Test your faith. So, one thing is very important. Now, since we are at the final stage of 2025, there will be many people who, as this year passes, are seeing themselves in a different way. Some might say, I have already lived most of my life. Some might say, I have lived my whole life. And some might say, I am about to start my life. But, friends, time is running out. And in this dwindling time, what are you doing? I have seen such people, friends, who every time this, when they celebrate the passing of the year with enthusiasm, with great joy, they say, what difference did it make? Everything goes the same way. But after a certain point, after 10 or 20 years have passed, they do not see things the same way. In the same way, they don't look at the passing of the year like before. It feels like something is missing, like something is slipping out of their hands quickly. At that time, you will realize that you needed to introspect. So, this month is actually a month for introspection, that you try to see how you have been doing this whole past year. Friends, I will take one or two more messages, and along with your questions, we will definitely move forward. TD from Pharma says, in the last session, I learned that when problems are beyond understanding, I write them down in my diary, numbering them, and leave them to God's will. When the result comes, it is much better than what I could have imagined. Yes, You said something very beautiful, that when you have no control over something, when you can't do anything about it, how do you look at those things? There is another message, friends. When I see my friends growing in life, I start feeling insecure. I feel guilty about not being able to progress myself. How do I deal with this? Friends, are you aware that every single person's growth and success in the world, the way each person moves forward, should not be the same? I certainly believe that every person will like different things. If you are standing with your five friends and you say that you like something, that preference, will usually be different from what other people like. You might say you like the color red, someone else might say they like white, another might say black, and someone else might say they like a different color. We all have a very unique aim in life. We have a very unique way of how we will feel successful. This, we and the people around us have created a boundary. That success is only one thing. If we don't grow the way others are growing, then we will be categorized as unsuccessful. This bothers a lot of people and causes a lot of inner conflict. And I know that whenever you look at your life this way, whenever you feel like you are running someone else's race in your own life, why aren't you able to win? You will end up hurting yourself. But the very truth is, what you need in your life is something very different. If you start to explore yourself a little, if you start to spend some time with yourself, and if by the end of this year we make one thing very important for ourselves, that how will we actually understand ourselves? What do we really want? What are the things we like? What makes us happy? What fits into our own parameters of success? If you will try to explore that this year, you will come to understand that there is a common, very basic kind of success that the world sees. Everyone has a good job, good money, good success. They are getting good growth, getting good promotions. That's not, everyone is only chasing for that. You are not just running after one thing, like how many people will stand on the same tower. Everyone wants something more, something that will actually make you happy. So, friends, it is very important for all of you to look at yourselves in this way. How will you move yourself forward in life? Friends, I want to bring up some questions in front of you that some of our colleagues have written on different platforms. Some people have written, and I hope I can share this with you, about how we can share these things with each other. A message from a sister says, is overthinking good for every time in the path of faith? So, overthinking comes from security and insecurity. How secure do you feel about yourself? Why do you think so much about something? It's because you are caught between whether something will happen or not. There is a very big difference that can be seen when you want something and you don't get it. You keep thinking about it over and over again, wanting to make sure that nothing is lacking in it. Overthinking is just a form of insecurity about your skills, your beliefs, your way of living life. When you appreciate yourself and when you live in a joyful state, in a happy environment with yourself, and you cherish seeing yourself happy for the small successes and little things every day, when you find yourself happy for those small things, you will realize that your tendency to chase after things, your rush to acquire things, has decreased a little. You will understand that suddenly you have started to feel a bit of joy when you see yourself achieving things, and life no longer seems so empty to you. People who live in insecurity and those who never even think about the good things in their lives, even a little, they usually go too much behind everything, and they always feel that maybe things happen just because they think about them. Overthinking is just a practice which you do out of insecurity. And there is a very beautiful solution for this. Friends, how will you bring confidence to yourself? You should start feeling joyful, blessed. And for me, there is a very beautiful phrase that I always use: count your blessings. Whatever good is happening to you, remember that too. Whatever good happened in your day, whatever good you were able to do in your life today, remember it once and feel happy about it. Whatever good you did for someone, Whatever sudden miracles you experienced in your life, be thankful for those as well. If you do not practice this and you are always in the habit of remembering negative things, then many times for you. If you get stuck between these two things, faith and overthinking, the way to understand your present, your true nature, will slip away from your life. Friends, that's why I never consider either faith or overthinking as a complete scenario. Faith is something where you think that what you know is the only truth, even though that's not the case. Overthinking is when you can't see what you already have and you keep chasing after something else. The thing that you keep thinking might be the standard of your success. Friends, in both cases, it's important for us to train ourselves. It does not come by itself. You might think that just because you heard it today, it will come into your life, but it is not going to come by itself. The things that you truly desire in this life will not simply appear in front of you. If you are hearing this message today, then commit yourself to practicing these principles with your fullest potential. Let's look at a couple more messages from friends today. I just saw a message in the comment section. She asks, should we listen to our heart or our mind? When we get confused, what role does faith play? Friends, have you ever analyzed this? Heart and mind? What actually happens? We say that the heart is the organ on the left side of our body that beats, but in this heart, it doesn't have the power to think, to understand, or to give shape to any thought. Have you ever realized this? The heart is, in reality, just a very important organ that keeps your body healthy. What we call the heart is actually a positive force of thought. What we call the mind is that same thought, but directed in a different negative direction, or it is another form shaped to protect you from harm. That is, you want to see both the good and the bad in everything. When you do something, you say, if I thought positively, it was from the heart. If I overthought it, then it was from the mind. Actually, when you try to understand this, it's all about thought. Within you, there is only one system, only one object from which everything comes, and that is your brain. Your brain, your mind wants to protect you in every possible way. But by just staying safe, will you be able to reach great heights in life, to achieve something truly good, to reach a very high level in life? Friends, those who only survive, they barely live too. Just be secure out of danger. They don't want to be threatened by things from the outside. They just want to live their lives on this one dimension until their end comes. And that is the only job of the brain, to keep you from getting into any kind of trouble. But many times, the big things in your life will only come to you when you accept challenges. If you will not take challenges, you will not grow. You will not get a higher purpose. So, friends, when someone says you should listen to your heart or your mind, you will only do what you are habitual of doing. Whether you listen to your heart or your mind, you will listen to the one you are used to. If you have a habit that whenever you face any difficulty, you go home and sit quietly and just let that time pass, then that is your habit. And that habit is such that whether you feel good or bad about it, you let things pass because that's what you know how to do. Some people are such that they face challenges. They have trained themselves to take on challenges because they believe, they have accepted that they are not here just to get by in life. They believe that their life has been given to them for a very special purpose. So they will take on challenges, they will work hard to accomplish something. So, friends, you don't really consider things as good or bad. You simply follow your habits. And if your habit is not to take on challenges, then this is the year. This year should be the one where you don't motivate yourself just to get by in life. Don't shape yourself in such a way that you just want to get through life, that you just want to live until you die. Take on challenges to do something new. Some things will be beyond your abilities and your limits, and you might get them wrong, but you will learn from them. Some things will be within your capabilities, and suddenly you will find strength in them, and you will move forward, friends. Let me take another question. They say, brother, a lot of good things have happened in all our lives, many beautiful things. If we believe that a lot of good has happened in our lives, but friends, the surprising thing is that in your life, When we talk about consciousness, when God gives you life, He doesn't just give you the good things. In the good, you only, in any situation, you can move forward, but you can never truly rise higher. You can't reach the greatest heights in life. You don't want your life to just keep going on without ever rising above your current state. Every person only truly feels joy when they get more. It's a natural process. So, when something happens in your life that goes against your expectations, when you feel that things didn't go according to your plans, understand that now this is the chance where you can show how you can grow. How will you be able to move forward? How will you learn to fight this challenge? How will you find a way to overcome these challenges? If you get scared and give up, if you back down, do nothing, and never look back, then you are going to remain exactly where you are. So, friends, let's understand just one thing about today's topic. Whether it's faith or overthinking, both come into our lives for one reason, that you have to understand the power of growth. You are not meant to stay in one place. You are always meant to move forward. So, this is a wonderful time as we sit here in the last month of 2025, when it feels like 2025 is about to end and we wonder how we will move ourselves forward. This is a beautiful opportunity to introspect at this moment. Friends, let me take a question that I see in the live feed. Overthinking also destroys faith, and overthinking crushes human nature and humans. In daily life, friends, I don't really believe in this thing that overthinking and critical thinking. What will you be able to choose between these two if you don't give yourself time? Overthinking is just your habit. You feel that if something doesn't go your way, you want to understand every aspect of it thoroughly. That's a normal procedure of your brain. When your brain doesn't get something, it keeps going back to it again and again. And there is really only one effective way to avoid overthinking, or rather to begin moving forward in the right direction from it. You must deliberately start incorporating concrete actions, your own deeds and efforts, right along with your overthinking. Whatever you want to achieve, try doing it first. Don't let any opinions form about it beforehand. If you want to become physically fit, just thinking about it won't be enough. If you want to improve your diet, your business, your profession, your focus, or your relationships with people and family, simply thinking about it won't get the job done. Action takes your thoughts from overthinking to critical thinking. When you do something, you don't just think about it. When you actually do something, the good and bad experiences that come from it often force you to think in directions where growth is hidden. Goodness is hidden there. When you do something you don't know how to do and yet you still do it, then the small failures, the criticism, and the little bit of pain you experience from that work will show you the things you can improve. If you succeed, it will bring you joy and give you the courage to do that work two or four times more. Thinking without action, this is just a very bad method, a repetitive pattern of completely wasting a truly very important and absolutely essential opportunity in your entire life. Our nature, our habits adopt this. That's why, friends, if this year has passed with you overthinking, if this year has passed without you achieving any goal, if you haven't achieved anything new this year, and if you are young, if you are a student, if you kept getting stuck on the same thing again and again and didn't find any success, whether you are chasing a government job, whether you are after the government, whether you've been waiting for 6 years to crack an exam, whether you want to get into the teaching line, or whether you're after a government job and still haven't done anything, just think about it for a moment, the time you have wasted. The time you kept at it but achieved nothing. You have wasted so many years. For what? Just so that you can get a salary while sitting idle for the sake of security. And friends, the only real assurance in a person's life is how hardworking they can be. If you are not hardworking, you will often find yourself trapped in a huge whirlpool between faith and overthinking. If the passing time of this year wants to teach you anything, it's about this whirlpool. It is there specifically to drown you, whether that means having blind faith in something that was originally shaped by a belief from over 10 years ago, or constantly thinking about something without ever taking any real action, which has repeatedly and unfortunately wasted your precious time in life. So, my friends, we really need to deeply think about this because you will only truly move forward when you finally decide to change. Start accepting the happiness of that thing in your life today. Let me take a couple more questions, friends. How can we balance our emotions so that we don't overthink? Hey there, my dear friends. Do you ever stop to realize that your complex and shifting emotions are usually more often than not? Your relationships with people you are connected to and the expectations you have from them have a significant impact. If you know that you are alone, chosen to move forward in your life, then many times the effects of many things won't impact you as much. If today you feel that people's opinions, people's views, what kind of attitude people have towards me, how they see me, what they say about me, how they behave with me, whether they see me in a good light or a bad one. If your mind is greatly affected by these things, if you get troubled, if it is a big deal for you to know what people think about you, if you are too caught up in these things, whether I achieved success or not. If you are troubled by the fact that others have moved ahead of you, then, friends, somewhere we are not really living our own lives. We're too much worried about others, what superior people will say, where people are, how people are. You are not even living your life yet. You have no right to let anything else matter in your life if you are not able to live your life to its fullest potential. If you are not getting up, if you are not doing your own things your own way, if you are not living 80% of your day, 80% of your life on your own terms, then you have absolutely no right to be unhappy because you haven't even started living yet. Even worry about the others. What people think about you, their opinions. You are born alone and you will leave this world alone as well. And whatever is important, whatever amazing, whatever big events happen in your life, they will come from within you alone. You will never need people for those things. By attaching yourself to them, you won't be able to live your life. This is you looking for some kind of appreciation. The validation you seek from others, you should actually find within yourself. So, friends, overthinking and emotional connections, both of these are poisonous things. I consider them toxic. These are poisonous things that, because of your habits, will enter your life and your mind. In our childhood, our parents put a lot of emphasis on these things, saying they are very important. What will people say? How do you dress? How are you? Who are you? How do you speak? What will people say? Somehow, today, other people's opinions have become so important for us that our emotions are not filtered enough to live according to our own true selves. Our emotions should have only one purpose: to tell us what we truly feel at this moment. And that today is a reflection of other people. So if you want to work on something this year, friends, try to work on new emotions. Start caring a little less about what others think. Start worrying less about people. Stop looking at things from others' perspectives and lower your expectations from people. What difference does it make? You are not running a business where people are directly involved with you. People neither come into your life to save you, nor to take care of you, nor do they come to help you in any way. So it should be very important for you to consider how you deal with this. Friends, let me take another question on this topic. Someone wrote to me through Instagram. For a few days, it feels like my entire life is immersed in the guru, but after a while, that intoxication fades away permanently. It is the Guru who liberates, friends. This remains in our lives only until then. Mood swings will continue. Today, if we get something, we feel good. Tomorrow, if we don't get something, we feel bad. We will keep dancing between these two states until we start living for ourselves. Until today, you have never, whatever you have tried to learn from any guru or through the power of spirituality, it all boils down to just one meaning. When will you start living your own life? Were you able to start living life for yourself or not? And if not, then what will definitely happen is that you will keep seeing yourself through the eyes of others again and again, and that's not a very good standard. Friends, you have been sent into this life for a special purpose, and that is to understand yourself and to explore yourself. There is nothing that is permanent in this life. If you don't believe what I'm saying, just look at the history of the last 100 years before today. Whatever was important yesterday is not important today. Whatever used to be very important for the people who came before us 10, 20, or 50 years ago, today, those things are no longer important to them. Everything is changing so rapidly, changing at such a fast pace that you won't even realize it, friends. We are meant to live and have with full grace this passage of life. However, this life is continuously moving forward. How will you go through it with enthusiasm? How will you experience it as a celebration? How will you pass through it with joy? How will you accept it as a blessing? How will you take it as a moment of great happiness? So, this passing time of 2025 is for you and for us. It should be a great opportunity for self reflection, a deep introspection in which we look at whether we have actually done anything or not. Or did we just keep living in faith, believing that what we know is the only truth and failed to recognize the truth of today? We assume that what we know is enough, but today we are nowhere. From morning till evening, we are living in dilemmas, confusion, troubles, in a doubtful state. We just believe things are happening, but we don't want to see those things for ourselves. If you are doubtful today, then it means you are in doubt. That's it. Nobody is going to make things better. No one can make those things better because you have already given up on them, believing that things were fine 10 years ago. Faith makes those kinds of wrong promises to you. Test your faith, friends. That is spirituality. Spirituality teaches you to gradually connect with yourself more and more every day. And the more you understand yourself today, the better you will find yourself compared to yesterday. A changed mindset has its own unique power. Yesterday you were someone else, today you will become someone new. This is what spirituality is. There is no faith that gives you this kind of clarity. Faith is only a momentary thing. If you tested something yesterday, it was only meaningful in that moment. Today, that thing has changed, its meaning has changed. Faith should be tested every day. Secondly, you must connect your overthinking to action within yourself, because if you don't act, then your emotions, your habits, and your insecurities, these three things, your insecurities, your habits, and if you haven't done anything, if you've only worried about something, these things will create a whirlpool inside you, a web that will prevent you from moving forward. And 2025 should be better than 2026. It is very important for us that our 2025 turns out better. Friends, this year of ours is slowly coming to an end, and what I have learned from my guru is this: to make your time valuable, it is only possible when you find your present time better than your past. If today you feel that you are in that position, then congratulations to you. This is a moment of great pride and happiness that you are able to see yourself in that way. And if you are not able to see yourself like that, then this is still a very, very beautiful time for you. Can you make it better? That is also the power you have right now. So, friends, I want to thank all of you very much that we, in the coming days, may be able to live this past year with new enthusiasm and with a strong mindset. May we find ourselves strong. May we find ourselves moving towards new goals. So, thank you all very much. I hope that everyone who joined us today and everyone who is here today became a part of this discussion and dialogue. May this opportunity today and the coming days from today be very special for them. And if we connect through live sessions and have discussions in the next few days, then keep making yourself a student every day. Be a student of life, not the dictator. We have to refine ourselves. This should be our promise to our chosen ideal, that we will remain constantly diligent. We will always strive to make ourselves better than we were the previous day. This should be our vow, because this very vow will empower you by freeing you from your overthinking, your doubts, and your various insecurities. So, friends, thank you all very much. I know your time is valuable, and if you are doing some good work during this precious time and living a life that is a celebration, a source of happiness, and every day you are living with joy, you are not constantly counting your life's troubles, nor are you entangled in them. You are happy, joyful, and enthusiastic. You are continuously living each day of your life as it should be, the most beautiful. So, if you are truly living your life in this way, then thank you very much. Thank you all for joining me in today's live session. I hope that this discussion and conversation has in some way inspired you. It must have been inspiring for you. In the same way, it must have been helpful to you. If that's the case, then it brings me great happiness that you are able to benefit from this in some way. But, friends, there is one thing I would definitely like to encourage you about. Listening and then believing that you have mastered it is a big illusion. If you start to think that you know everything, that is a huge misconception. If you believe you know everything, that is a very extreme ego which we live with day by day. I know everything, don't tell me anything. And if you feel this way, then you should definitely reflect on it once. How will we begin to become a student? If that's not the case, then somewhere you are watching this golden opportunity slip through your hands. Friends, that's all for today. Thank you very much. I hope that whatever you do will be in accordance with God's will. It will be very important for your life. And if it is good, it is all because of you. It is God's grace if it is. Even if that thing is not good, still you should believe that somewhere it is meant to make you stronger. You. Keep encouraging yourself and stay connected with courage, because even this situation is going to bring very, very, very good results in your life. So, friends, thank you very much. For today, I wish you all the best for your new year and for the new beginning. My hope is that you always keep learning. May your learning never stop. May you never lose the desire within you to learn. May you never feel indifferent. May you never feel bored of the exploration of your life. And for this, may you all always remain aware. Thank you, friends. That's all for today. I hope that before the new year, we will have a few more opportunities to communicate with each other and prepare one another for the new year. We can inspire each other for a new beginning and just be able to teach each other that hold yourself accountable every day. Look at yourself in the mirror every day and say that you could have done even better. And for what you did well, be thankful. Thank you, friends. That's all for today. Hoping to see you again soon with best wishes. Thank you all so very much for joining us today. Good night to you all, and may you have a truly wonderful day tomorrow. May the beginning of your coming days and this entire new year be very good, prosperous, and fulfilling, and may you spend all of the time ahead with great joy and happiness. That is all for our session today. I sincerely hope that whatever questions you might have, or absolutely anything else you want us to include in our next detailed discussion, you will feel free to share them with us. Please do share those thoughts and ideas with me in the future so that we can discuss those topics together. Friends, my dear friends, whenever the next live session happens, make sure to be a part of it. I don't know how long we'll have to wait for the next live session, but I wish we can connect with each other very soon. Friends, if anyone still has any kind of issues or concerns, if you have any confusion, you can send me your questions through social media or other means so that we can address those things for you in the future. So, thank you very much, friends. That's all for today. We'll meet again soon in the next live session. Until then, keep making yourself stronger every day. Thank you. That's all for today. We'll meet again soon. Till next time.